Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope you're doing well. So in this Telegraph screenshot, you can see the subtle celebration and promotion of adultery. And what I want you to recognize is that you won't be beautiful forever as a woman. And what you do with the gift that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you, the gift of beauty, and indeed it is quite a gift, what you do with it, you'll be measured by. If you use your beauty to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to hurt other women and to dishonor yourself, you're not going to get rewarded for that. And in hell, you're not going to be beautiful. There will be no ease, no peace, no rest in such a place. And if you look at time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has really made it quite clear to us women when you look at it. You are in your prime from, let's say, 16 to 32, right? Or you could say, you really start to blossom at 16. You can say 18 to 32, all right? But you have a choice. How will you be? What will you do with it? Will you monetize it and push sin and masturbation and get money in illicit ways? Will you let men pay you and let them run through you and risk your life with STDs? You risk your life as well, because some of them are going to be creepy and want to harm you. It is quite common for actually such types of women, no matter which level of customer they serve, to be disposed of. This is even captured in, put it this way, in Narcos, the very first season with Pedro Pascal, one of the workers is abused. She's undercover, right? She gets harmed. Even in Breaking Bad, those women, they are at a drug party and the narcos, there's a shootout, they run away, and some people would also, in that situation, get rid of all the loose ends. In The Sopranos, he owns a strip club. None of the men respect the women there. And one of them, who was pregnant with one of the other couples, with his child, he beat her to death, and then her body was disposed of. This is something that Hollywood even talks about because it happens. And it's quite common. There's tons of movies, if you pay attention to what they're basically telling these women to their faces, is that you are disposable. And you're gonna get a creepy guy, and the more expensive your customer is, the easier it is for them to erase you and to cover their tracks. And so sin and degradation and disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never benefit you. And you can have this sin, right? And get the materialistic items. But when you die, you know you're not taking it with you. I know this has been said a lot. But success isn't measured in the brand names. And recall a time when brand names were not relevant. This is a new phenomena of brand names. And social media marketing companies also play a role in this. You are risking going to hell because you want brand name stuff to impress other women as if you've made it, as if you're a success. Being rich is a form of materialistic earthly success. It does not mean that you've lived a fulfilling life, that you've made good decisions. It doesn't mean that you are someone to be trusted. Just look at how corrupt some politicians are. They're extremely wealthy, and they don't serve the people. How many musicians had to do really weird, strange things in order to bend the knee to their managers? How many people became famous through fake analytics? And then the fame pushes them in a corner they don't want to go to, and they traded success in the real sense, which is getting into paradise. And so be careful with your beauty. Adultery can seem fun. It can be exciting. But watch some true crime and see what happens when people get hurt and you betray them. And women will often say, have a men on rotation, have a roster, have backups, have pay pigs. And you're like, eventually you're gonna meet a man and he's gonna put a stop to that. And at a certain point you must mature and must choose safe options. Playing the game of adultery isn't safe. It's Russian roulette with your life, because the person could end your life, or their wife could find out and end your life, or you're gonna get several venereal diseases. The funny thing is, people think they can't get chlamydia, super gonorrhea, syphilis, and AIDS at the same time. They somehow think that a rubber is 100% foolproof, and that their 10, 15, 20 minutes of fun while high on drugs is going to be worth that type of illness. And yeah, you can be given a pill for AIDS. Will your insurance cover that? How is that going to affect your mental health? How is that going to affect the way you look at the world? Why would you risk that? Adultery is a risk. Your beauty is a responsibility. A lot of women hate Muslim women because we give the gift of our beauty to our husbands, and we adorn ourselves in submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with our religious garments. And the hijab is a noble garment. And to me, it's very special because it identifies us. It differentiates us from the masses. And it is hard for a lot of Muslim wives. I understand, I've heard them complain. Their husbands will go work out in the gym and these women are dressed like holy moly guacamole. Or is this a live porno? Like, this is not workout clothes? Why can't you just wear a t-shirt and sweatpants? And, you know, this is weird, and they feel odd that they are told to cover, but yet their husband's eyes constantly fall on these women. And what I will tell you is that that's a trial for them, which I'm sure many women recognize this. But that doesn't mean that that woman's going to paradise. Remember that. I know atheists will say, nah, share your wife like Destiny did. Everybody share everybody's wives. Let's be swingers and swap. Lewdness everywhere. Hedonism everywhere. This is one giant orgy. Earth is a giant orgy. Let's all spread around diseases and get abortions and just be crazy with it. And you're like, no thanks. I'd rather be committed to a person and be responsible with my health and not risk my life and mental sanity. Because peace of mind is to be protected. Adultery doesn't bring peace. I know there's a lot of women who want to monkey branch into new relationships. And they want to leave a relationship, so they start looking for the other, which requires them to not jump ship before they found a new ship in their harbor. But this is wrong. And you shouldn't commit adultery. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Anyone who pushes you to do adultery, you have to step back and think, what will happen if he catches me? What will happen right at that moment? Will he hit me? Will I hit him? How much pain is that person going to feel? Do I want to see them cry? Do I want to go through the divorce court? Imagine how horrible you'll feel if you cheated, got an STD, and gave it to him, and now your kids know what you did, and your community knows. Liberals want to stop the shame of STDs. They want to stop the shame of adultery. They have no shame. They have no honor. They are godless, and they don't care about the preservation of the family, nor do they care about marriage, nor do they care about the stability of society with two-parent households. And so we have to be mindful of our decisions. And we have to know that they want certain things to happen for a reason. And whatever the atheists want, it isn't going to be good for you. To an atheist, marriage is nothing spiritual. To an atheist, when two people come together and have intimacy and plan to have a child and to create this little tiny soul by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they don't see that as anything miraculous. They call babies parasites. I've shared those screenshots in the past. To them, a baby is a parasite. To them, it's a clump of cells. They say, "Yeetus the fetus." Okay? They make TikTok videos dancing in abortion clinics, which I've screenshot. They make abortion party cakes. They make divorce cakes. Nothing is sacrosanct to them. Nothing is taboo. They have no boundaries in common decency. And so we must be wise with what they push. If you are beautiful, it's only for a time. It doesn't matter how much plastic surgery you get, you're gonna age. Okay? And you must be honorable with your beauty. You have a duty. It's the most wonderful thing for you to not harm someone else's heart, because you're gonna hurt yourself, hurt them, and who you cheated on, and if they have a partner as well, the cheating is just gonna cause nothing but pain. And you'll be held accountable for that. In paradise, we're not going to be unhappy with however we look in that next abode. We won't have the problems we have here on earth. Think about that as a sign. Your beauty goes away here. You only have it for a small time. What will you do with that power? Beauty is a power, especially over men. Men can be controlled through female beauty, and that's why they have to be like Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him. He resisted. He pulled away. Think of even the mythology of the Epic of Gilgamesh when he turned away Ishtar and how mad she got. She took the bull of heaven and caused chaos because she couldn't handle rejection. You must be wise, but weak men are very easily swayed by the harlot. And some women hunt these men and cause problems. So, for you Muslim women who may be doubting your hijab or wondering if you should start it, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to reward you. You're doing a favor to other women, and you're showing that you are better than those who flaunt their beauty. You are special. You are unique. You have done something that those women couldn't do, which was to retire from the display. When a woman is married and she's looking pimp and prime, she knows on a deep level she's still advertising herself for the next best guy, regardless of how many years she's been with a man. Yeah, she's trying to look good for her husband, but see, the hijab, you take it off when you're around your hubby at home. You can give that beauty to him. But when you go out in public and you're super adorned, you're fishing. You're scanning. You're hunting. You are blooming yourself about. You are trying to draw it in. We know this. I don't know why some people deny it. But those women who are constantly on the sex hustle hate Muslim women and want to rip off our hijabs, and they can't stand us. And some men hate us Muslim women because they don't like that we have submitted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with our beauty. They get mad that they can't see our beauty, and they hate that your husband has gotten you to submit in that way. So they're like, the way they can attack you, and then they know they're attacking the man. It's an indirect way of men attacking other men. Men judge each other by their wives, right? They see the measure of a man through his wife. A Muslim is the perfect wife. She's covered that beauty. She's working on herself. Either way, just her clothes alone, the true modesty. Just look at these MAGA Christian girls in the trad conservative right-wing movement in America. They're displaying everything. You can't really tell the difference between them and an OnlyFans chick. What really is the difference here? Not much. With a Muslim online who is minimalist, doesn't wear makeup, covers up, doesn't free mix with men. When she goes out, she's in her Islamic garbs. She prays. That is a diamond. That is The pinnacle. Because she has decided, I'm going to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, going to submit to the Maker, and I am going to honor my husband through letting only him see everything about me. And then when you go home and your kids are older, you can have more fun with like fancier adornments. It's difficult when they're little, because toddlers are trying to destroy everything like little tornadoes. So that's difficult. But know that your beauty for your husband is the most wonderful gift. That is the best way to show respect to your husband. And you should respect him. Even if he does things that make you upset, you still want to honor him. Because through honoring him, you show the harlot there's a better way. And you show a man that he can get a better wife. He can get a better woman. And the one who covers is better than the one who doesn't. And this makes them mad. That's why they want to tear it off. Don't fall for it. Be wise. Don't follow the secular liberal atheists. Be better because you are better. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raises women to the highest degree. Muslim women are the best wives. They are the standard. They are superior. You are superior for wearing the hijab, the niqab, the burqa, the khimar, the jilbab, you name it, you are better. Each time you don't entice a man on the street who isn't your husband, you are doing a good deed. Each time you resist adultery, you're doing a good deed. All good deeds will be rewarded. All bad deeds will be recorded. Remember that. Don't become insecure. They should become insecure around you because you're better than them. They have to tear you down. They have to peacock on you. They have to turn around and like pull up their yoga pants to show their crack. You'd be so surprised how I'm just sitting there waiting for coffee in the queue, and there has to be a woman who's just constantly turning and body checking and flipping her hair and twisting her back, and I know as a woman what she's doing. She wants me to feel insecure because my modesty is a stark contrast to hers, and she can't handle that. Start noticing it, ladies. And the way they try to get under your skin is by looking at you and laughing, calling you oppressed, telling you to take off your hijab. They have all the sneakery. But blow them to the wayside. Don't even pay attention. Walk with grace, virtue, and honor, because you're a blessed Muslim woman. And each time you cover, you honor your husband, and that's a wonderful present. I hope this will motivate you. And don't commit adultery. Think about how it can ruin your life. Feminists, liberals, progressives, don't follow their path. They swap bodies on them like you changing socks. They're just walking STD fests. Their bodies have probably had 2 or 3 abortions. Nothing special there. Nothing special. Let me know what you think. If you'd like to support my content and read more about what I write, you can join my blog via www.subscribestar.com/Milahan Archive. Hope to see you there.